Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Mark with Killer Grub with Mark, and today we are going to talk about vanilla extract. Vanilla extract is super popular, widely used, and can be quite expensive. But thank goodness it's not that expensive to make. It's time consuming, but it's not expensive. So let's get right to it and make some vanilla extract. I just want to say right now, thank you to all of my loyal subscribers. I cannot even tell you how much I appreciate each and every one of you for subscribing to my channel and watching my videos. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, why not click that button right now? I believe it's over here, somewhere over here in this corner. One of these days I'll get that right over here, over there. It's in the corner. It's in the bottom right corner. Just hit that subscribe button. Ring that bell, because if you don't ring the bell, you will never know when I've uploaded a new video. So why not go ahead, subscribe, ring the bell, and if this video brings you any information, is informative, maybe it was fun to watch, I don't know, I couldn't imagine, but give it a like. I appreciate it. Anyway, let's make some vanilla. So here we are. These are the vanilla beans. I buy them at least 25 at a time, sometimes more. This is just one of the companies that I buy the beans from. I buy them from two different, I've actually bought them from several different suppliers, and I've whittled it down to two suppliers that I've gotten great quality beans from. And I will give all that information to you later on in the video. So first thing I want to talk about is the vanilla that you get at the store. All right, you can buy either one of these right here, this Nelson Massey or this M&B organic, and at the store this is, I think, like $30 for this bottle. This is in the $20 range, I believe. I don't remember exactly. It's been a while since I bought those. The Nelson and I'm just literally going to read the ingredients right off the label, off their label, okay? And the ingredients are water. That's the first ingredient. And you know, the ingredients are listed in order from the highest percentage to the lowest, okay, on these labels. And it says ingredients. First ingredient, water. Second ingredient, alcohol, 35% by volume, okay? Third ingredient, sugar. And then the very last ingredient, it says vanilla bean extractives. So it's some kind of an extract of vanilla bean. It's not specific. It's some kind of an extract of a vanilla bean. But it says vanilla bean extractives, okay? Extractives, whatever. Okay, we'll go with this one. Organic, premium quality vanilla extract. Okay, we'll go through the same process. Okay, so on this one, it says contains certified organic alcohol, 35% minimum by volume, certified organic vanilla bean extractions, and water. So this one doesn't have sugar in it, at least. And this is not a bad vanilla. It's not. It was actually fairly good. Now I'm going to show you my vanilla, and this is actually the vanilla. This is the bottle of vanilla I use right now, and this is made from vodka. It's Madagascar. It's a grade A bean, okay? A grade A bean. And this was bottled in March of so this year, March, okay? And I bottled it right in the very beginning of March. I think it was like March 1st or March 3rd. I forget exactly, but it was right around there. But this is my vanilla. It's actually kind of looks a little cloudy because the bottle's kind of got fingerprints all over it, but that's my vanilla. And that's March, April, May. It's just now 3 months old. Oh no, it's actually just a little over 2 months. Here's another that I bottled April 14th, 2020, all right? But here's another that I bottled, same date, but this is bourbon Madagascar vanilla, okay? But all of these, if you look at them, these right here, I just bottled on the 29th of April 29th, okay? Here's one that was an experiment. I've always either used vodka or bourbon, because those are the most popular brands are made with either bourbon or vodka. I thought, well, I've never heard of anybody trying Captain Morgan's spiced rum. This actually is my new favorite. And I bottled this May 1st. So this bottle is barely 2 weeks old. And this odor and the taste is amazing already in just 2 weeks. So anyway, that's, I just, a little bit of information. That's all that is. I'm not knocking either one of these two brands of vanilla. They're very good brands of vanilla. They work awesome, but what bothers me is the water and the sugar. Literally what goes into my vanilla beans and alcohol. And that's it. So here's your vanilla beans. This is how they come. What I do is I lay all my vanilla beans out. When you get your vanilla beans, this is what they should look like, okay? They should be around 5 to 6, maybe 7 inches long. These all are about 5.5. Now, to make your vanilla, all right? What you're gonna do is you're gonna take your bean, okay? And you can either split your bean or not split your bean. It's up to you. If you split the bean, it will turn into vanilla quicker. For the lack of me knowing what the real technical term for that is or not, but you don't have to split it. But if you don't split the bean, it's gonna take substantially longer to make that vanilla. But you take the bean, and you take a knife, okay? I don't know if you can see this or not, and you just split it down the middle like that. Now you're not necessarily trying to split it all the way through to the back, okay? You're just splitting the front. And you're basically, what you're doing is you're exposing, because inside the bean, inside of here, are all these tiny little, it's vanilla. It's the seeds inside. And that's where all your goodness is. And you just drop it in your bottle, okay? And you take your second bean. And I've seen people that make vanilla, and they will put one bean in a 16-ounce jar. Literally, one bean in a 16-ounce jar, but their vanilla will sit for a year in the bottle. I do three beans. Oh, that smells good. I'll do 3 beans in each bottle. So this is my third bean, boom, in the bottle. And then you take your whatever alcohol that you're going to use. This one, I'm going to use vodka, okay? So let's go ahead. And one of the things you want to make sure of, okay, that bottle's empty. Let me grab another bottle. Everybody, it looks like I'm a big old boozer with huge bottles of vodka and everything all over the place. But actually, I don't even drink. I mean, I don't say I don't drink at all, but it's rare. What do you want to make sure of is you want to make sure that you cover the bean. I truly suggest you try, if you're going to make this, you try the Captain Morgan's spiced rum. It is really good. And I'll tell you a little bit about that at the end of the video. But that's how you do it. That's all you do. And then what you do is, for the first month, once a day, you do that. You just turn it like that, okay? And then you store it in a cool, dry, preferably dark place, like in a cabinet. This is the cabinet right here that I keep all my vanilla in. I just keep it in that cabinet once a day. It's right there. I open it up. I grab each bottle one at a time, and I just do exactly this. I give them a little shake. That's all I do, just like that. And you'll see the vanilla inside of there moving around. Well, let me grab this one. This one has a lot more. See the vanilla in there? See it? And I label them. What I use, these bottles right here are actually Tahitian beans. And we'll talk a little bit more about Tahitian beans and the different regions that the beans are grown in and the differences between them at the end of the video, which is really important. It's really important that you know the difference between a Madagascar bean and a Tahitian bean, okay? Because it makes a big difference in your vanilla, okay? So anyway, that's how you make it. That's exactly what you do. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make up the rest. I'm making 8 bottles of vanilla today. And I got to make it all up and label them. And then after that, I'll talk to you a little bit more about the actual vanilla beans themselves and what you need to know before you make your own vanilla. Okay? All right. So all the vanilla is bottled up. I've got them all labeled. I try to label all my vanilla. I really do. I'm not that great at it, but I really do make an honest effort to label them so that I know what the heck I did. So if anybody asks, because the people do buy this, so I can tell them exactly what they're getting. And like this bottle right here, it's Madagascar beans. It's grade A. I used spiced rum, and I bottled it on that date. Just for a little reference, okay? Here's a bottle. of the vodka Madagascar that I bottled today. And here is a bottle of the vodka vanilla extract that I bottled up almost over a week ago. I did these bottles on the 29th of April, and today is the 10th of May, okay? So these, 29, almost 2 weeks old. It's almost 2 weeks old, and there you go. There you can see about what you could expect in 2 weeks, okay? Clear? It's got a little bit of a tint to it. By tomorrow, there'll be about a layer about that deep tomorrow. That'll be almost this color. But then, of course, tomorrow, I'll take the bottle and I'll do this with it, and then it'll be like this. Anyway, the longer you leave it bottled and turn it every day or two, the darker it's going to get. For instance, this is a bottle this was done in the very beginning of March. So this is almost 10 weeks, this bottle here. And it's actually very good. I'm using this bottle right now. So enough about that. But there you go. People ask me a lot, why is vanilla so expensive? And there's actually a lot of factors that create the reasons why that vanilla is so expensive. And the first reason is because vanilla beans are expensive. So why are vanilla beans expensive? Well, here's how it works, okay? The vanilla bean plant is actually an orchid. It's a vanilla orchid, okay? They only grow in certain climates, like 80 degrees or more average temperature. They like a certain type of soil. They like to be planted on a certain, you can't plant a vanilla orchid in a flat. It has to be like a taper. And they want to vine up something like a tree or a pole or something like that, right? And they like a humid atmosphere, like 80% humidity. And another factor is that it takes 2 to 4 years for the plant to mature enough to where it's going to get flowers. One mature vanilla bean orchid plant will get up to 20 blooms in 1 year. But they'll only use probably 5 of those blooms. They'll only pollinate like 5 of those blooms to get beans. Because if they over-pollinate the flowers, then the beans would be much smaller. So it'd be really less yield. Plus, throw on top of that, vanilla bean plants, orchids, they only bloom once a year for 1 day. Once a year for 1 day. And that bloom has to be pollinated on that 1 day that it blooms. Otherwise, you're not going to get a vanilla bean. Okay? So if you factor all of those things, and plus they're pollinated by hand, all right? There is only one specific species of bee that is really successful at pollinating a vanilla bean orchid bloom, because actually the vanilla bean is hermaphroditic. It has both male and female organs, but it can't pollinate itself because there's a flap that covers, and this flap has to be moved back in order for the pollen to get from here to here. Well, those bees, there's specific species of bees that only live in a very small part of Mexico. So basically, in order to pollinate these vanilla bean orchid blooms, they have to take a very small stick, and they have to lift that little flap, and then they actually use their thumb or their finger to just kind of move the pollen over. And you don't want to get too much pollen over there, because then that'll have adverse effects that are not good. It's just a small amount of pollen that you want to pollinate that particular bloom. And this all has to be done by hand. And you have 1 day. So, it's a heck of a process. And then once the bean grows and matures and they pick the bean, it's probably 6 months before that bean is ready for the market. It has to go through a killing process and a drying process, and it's very specific. They got to have a certain amount of sun during the drying process and a certain amount of shade So they literally lay them all out on these racks in the sun for a specified amount of time, and then they have to take them all up, and then they put them in these bundles, covered up in these bundles, and then they take them and they put them back out tomorrow. And they keep doing that every day, 7 days a week, until the beans are ready for market. So there's a lot of very good reasons why vanilla is expensive and vanilla beans are expensive. But there's a lot of other things that affect the market, like a typhoon wiping out a crop, things like that. And those things happen because these all grow in tropical environments. Beans are basically grown in Madagascar, I believe, grows about 41% of the total world market of vanilla beans. Indonesia, I believe, supplies about 29% of the world market. And then the other 30% is supplied by Mexico, Papua New Guinea, and China. But the beans that everybody really wants, which are the most fragrant, of the original bean that has the most vanillin and the most flavor, is the Madagascar bean. And that's why it is the most popular bean. Now you'll notice on these bottles back here, I have like 6 bottles back here where I actually got Tahitian beans. And I tried them out. And they actually work fairly good. I don't think they're nearly as good as the Madagascar beans. And these were grade B. If you look on here, I have a B on there. See the B? That means it's a grade B bean. Vanilla beans are graded. There's 3 grades. There's actually like 5 or 6 grades of beans. But for the market, there's basically 3 grades of beans. Grade A, or grade 1. Grade B, or it's also called grade 2. Or third one they call cuts. Grade A is usually the beans are 15 centimeters or more in length, which is about 6 to 7 inches in length. They have about, I think it's 30 to 35% moisture content. And they are also known as the gourmet bean. All right, that is the best bean. And then your grade B or grade 2, they call those the extract beans. And they're 15 to 25% moisture content. They're usually somewhere between 10 and 15 centimeters long, which is max of about 5 inches, all the way down to like 4 inches. I've never had one that short. Even the grade B beans that I bought back here, the shortest bean I had was 5.5 inches. I had some that were almost 7 inches long. And then of course your cuts are, what happens is on the grade A and the grade B beans, if they've got a blemish or like a fungus that's growing on it, they cut that stuff off. When they're inspecting them, they cut the bad parts of the bean off. And then the pieces that are left over become what they are called cuts. And that's what most of your commercial vanilla manufacturers buy. They buy the cuts, or grade B's or the cuts. And grade B's also might be split open, all right? There's some people that say that the grade B beans actually have more vanilla flavor than the grade A. I've never found that to be the case. I've bought quite a few beans, and I've never found it to be the case where the grade B's had more flavor than the grade A's. I always try to buy grade A's unless the price is just crazy. Then I'll buy some grade B's, but I always end up putting more beans in the grade B bottles. So anyway, that's kind of what you need to know about vanilla beans before you go out and buy them. I appreciate you watching the video. I really do. I hope this helps you. Another thing, Tahitian beans it's proven that Tahitian beans, which is what these are back here, Tahitian, they contain less vanillin than the Madagascar beans, okay? So keep that in mind when you're buying beans as well, okay? I will link all the places that I trust to buy vanilla beans in the comments. I'll also write everything out that I did to bottle up my vanilla. I'll describe what I did in the description. Anyway, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, where is it? I think it's like, I don't know, over here in the corner, right? Maybe there, in the corner right there. it's called the subscribe button. I think I found it. I think it's right there. Anyway, or check out one of my my linked videos over here. Or if you're at the very end, you're going to see a subscribe button up here as well. So subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you for watching. Have fun and keep cooking. Thank you. Bye-bye.